Predicting a major suburban expansion north of St. Louis, Missouri, the Jamestown Mall was built in 1972. But their gamble didn't pay off when sinkholes would halt further developments in the area. Though the mall would hang on and expand in 1994, by the mid-2000s it began to die a slow death before permanently closing in 2014. Opening in 1973 with two anchors, Sticks, Bear, and Fuller would open their anchor the following year, and the mall would add a new 23-store wing and bring in Penny's and Famous Bar in 1994. Since opening, locals in the suburb of Blackjack had complained about the mall traffic, something I found is almost universal to every mall opening anywhere. However, things came to a head here in 1974 when a child was hit by a car on Jamestown Road. Though the mall did not appear to have any grand opening events, it did have a number of special appearances and shows over the following years.
Oh my gosh, look at that. It's a decapitated baby.
In 1975, the mall held a bicentennial event with a craft fair, a stop by the Professional Artist Tour which featured 35 artisans, free movies, museum displays, a race car appearance, and most importantly, a show by the Happy Tappers, an award-winning clogging square dance group. The National Artist Tour would return in 1976, but more interestingly, a month later I found a little newspaper blurb advertising either Bigfoot or a caveman in ice being displayed at the mall.
This was either a bookstore or a movie store.
Baseball star Stan Musial had a signing outside of Walden Books for his new biography in 1977. Renowned watercolor artist Ben Goodman also held a show that year. 30 race cars were on display along the concourse in 1992.
Oh, they smashed his face.
The center court was where shows were often held, including fashion shows every spring, fall, and winter season showcasing the latest fashions. To celebrate the mall's 5-year anniversary in 1978, Mickey Mouse was on hand for children, and the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse held 8 shows a day for the week-long gala. 4 months earlier that year, a TV star also gave daily shows here for about 2 weeks. Kokomo Jr., best known as the mascot for the Today Show, was a chimpanzee who also held an honorary citizen title in Kokomo, Indiana. Other characters who have made appearances over the years include Jerry the Disco Dancing Giraffe Puppet, the Incredible Hulk, and soap opera stars Tad Martin and Donna Cortlandt of the show All My Children. A pipe smoking tournament was held here in 1983, where 61-year-old Lodell Parks won by keeping his pipe lit for 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 6 seconds. Auditions for the Wheel of Fortune were held here in the mid-80s, with a huge turnout. In 1991, the Hawthorne Players held a play here, wherein a modern family shopping the mall was transported back to the area in 1786.
Oh wow, like bulldozed it all into here. And it had all the wood fixtures. Here's all their signs, for all their sales and shit.
Yeah, hot looks and cool prices.
Crime at the mall began as early as 1974, when the manager of the Carousel Snack Bar here was robbed of her day's receipts in the parking lot by 3 men in ski masks. A lawsuit was filed against Jamestown Mall in 1983 after a security guard claimed he was fired for refusing orders to not arrest alcohol or drug offenders who were on the property. This mall was one of several St. Louis area malls that was patrolled by helicopters for the 1984 holiday season, which monitored for suspicious activity and ensured customers made it safely to their cars. The mall had experienced a spree of shoplifting and robberies in 1987, and by June that year, one worker had had enough. After a man robbed the Buster Brown shoe store, an employee chased him down and was joined by another store employee and several shoppers who caught the robber in the parking lot. "17-year-old Jeffrey Lukens escaped from the county jail in 1990 and was arrested in the mall's old food court after robbing several local stores the previous night.
So it seems like they were all they were all just like little local like mom and pop ones. There was really no chains, it looks like, that were left at the end.
This current food court was part of the 1994 additions, which had seen delays over a year long. Just past the food court, outside the Sears store, is where the worst crime at the mall would occur in 2008. After slashing his ex-wife's car's tires, 49-year-old S.A. Carson approached the woman who was sitting on a bench in the concourse. Though they had been divorced in 2006, they still lived together, and police had been called to their home multiple times for violence between the two. He would kill her with 2 shots before turning the gun on himself.
Retro footlocker. It's an interesting sculpture, whatever it was.
The first movie theater in the mall was the Jamestown Cinema 1 and 2, which opened in 1974. It would close in 1994, but the Jamestown 14 Cine would open in 1998.
The seats are still here.
One of these theaters would be filled in 2010 when a community meeting was held to discuss the struggling mall.
Tonight, the turnout terrific. More than 300 residents offering ways to save this mall. Tonight, talk included the possibility of developing some of the 100 acres here into a sort of mixed use. Maybe not all stores, but also something different. Maybe an aquarium, maybe even some housing. Some residents did not like the idea about adding houses. They instead want more stores. Now, Charlie Dooley also mentioned the possibility of a store like IKEA. But at this point, it is all talk. No developer is expressing any interest. The idea is to first come up with a plan that includes public input.
It can happen. It's happened many places, and we're very excited, actually. With the initial touring that we've done here on the site and looking around, I think that there's great opportunities here.
You have to have the people who want it, and we want it. That's why we're here today.
Now, all of the input given here will be put together, a consultant coming up with a master plan that should take about 8 months. By then, they hope a developer will be interested in investing in the plan they come up with. Reporting live from North County, Jeff Bernthal, Fox 2 News.
Post-millennium, St. Louis's suburban malls were in trouble. In 2003, Jamestown was purchased by Carlisle Development, and the mall was around 30% vacant at this time. Jamestown's closest competitor, River Road Center Mall, closed in 2006, the same year that Dillard's would close here. Carlisle announced redevelopment plans in 2008, wherein the Dillard's store and its wing would be converted to private offices, but the following year, after they attempted to auction the anchor off, the county would pull their financial assistance. Research conducted showed the mall was no longer a viable retail center, and the following years saw more anchors leave while Carlyle tried several different plans for redevelopment. The bank would foreclose on them in 2011, but would find no buyers. After pennies left in 2013, Macy's would be the final anchor in the mall, which was around 75% vacancy rates at this time. It closed for good the following year. The St. Louis County Port Authority would purchase the mall in 2017 and had made a deal with the developer, but plans would be canceled after the county executive Steve Singer was indicted on corruption charges. Several fires and floods would further damage the abandoned mall during the following years, including one that injured 2 firefighters when part of a roof collapsed.
Blackjack police confirmed calls for the fire came in around 5:45 p.m. Crews arrived to the fire coming from part of the mall that used to house Dillard's. Heavy smoke was filling the skies and people could see that from miles away. Part of the roof was damaged, but it's unclear the extent of that damage at this time. There's currently no working electricity in the building. 2 firefighters were hurt while on the job. Their injuries right now are non-life-threatening.
The buildings are falling down naturally. You add the fire into it, weakens it as well. We have to get in and work on it, so it does create more of a hazard for us.
Councilwoman Shalonda Webb has been working for years to tear down and rebuild on site. There's currently $12 million ready to be used when demolition plans set for later this year to create multi-use facilities for the community takes place.
We are constantly dealing with situations at this mall when in other areas they've started demolition on their mall. And so I hope this puts a sense of urgency.
Finally, demolition of the mall began in the fall of 2023.